is a dear friend of Jim's, and he was an assistant here at Glencliff High School with Jim, and he's still coaching over at Cane Ridge High School, Mr. Tim Madison.
Thanks everybody for being here. First of all, when I was asked to speak, I wasn't sure about speaking. I'm not a speaker. And
Is it on now? There we go. All right. Was I using my coaching voice? Was that loud enough anyway? All right, I don't have to start over. All right, great. Clint brought up some things that I thought in my mind about Coach. I said first thing I could say is I could tell thousands of stories about Schick and Abner and things like that, but we're not going to go there today, Coach. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I thought I better write down some of the things that are coming in my mind. That way I can kind of stay on track and not take all day. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. It's wonderful being honoring a good friend and a colleague. Coach Wilson was a wonderful person who was respected and liked by all who came in contact with him. I never heard a single negative word when he was being mentioned, and on several occasions, and still today when I talk to officials on Friday night, many speak of Coach Wilson and how good a person he was. I can stand up here again and speak about many things and adventures as a coach, as a coaching staff here under Coach Wilson. But one thing that many people didn't know about Coach was his love for his football field. When I first started coaching here at Glencliff, I would see Coach Wilson squat down and pull weeds when we were having practice. And I was thinking, what in the world? And I'd ask Ab and Schick, Ab, what is he doing? First thing they'd say is he's picking out crabgrass. So every time when I saw him picking out crabgrass, he would reach down, he'd pull it out by the roots. I think he finally got the whole field, practice field especially, rid of crabgrass. Another thing I remember about how he loved this field was having the coaching staff carry buckets of Bermuda sprigs to the game field to transplant. Every year, Coach would go to Daytona with Gail, and he had to make sure that Ab and I could cut the field right and also to spray the weeds. Coach always had a great-looking field here at Glencliff. As I was thinking about Coach and this honor, there were some things that I came across that I thought was always fitting for Coach Wilson. One person said this about a coach: if you think back on life, who has recognized your potential and used his talents to help you discover and shape your own? Coach Wilson did this for his players and his coaches. When there's a coach like this, his influence can have a profound impact on the development of the entire team as well as individuals. A couple of quotes that fit Coach Wilson also was, a good coach can change a game, but a great coach can change a life. He changed many of our lives. A coach's responsibility is teaching the game while coaching more than the game. I think these quotes also fit Coach Wilson very well. Gail handed me a couple of letters that some of the players wrote, and I'd like to read a couple of those for you. One of the players said this: I took some time out and walked the field the other day, thinking this is the field that Coach Wilson built, with the help of some great men in our lives, his other coaches. This man stood for so many positive things and touched all who he encountered in many different ways. All of us had time, and the man we called J-Dub, his time came far too soon. His memory and presence will always be felt. We love you, Coach, and we'll see you again one day. Another letter read, Coach, you had the ability to show an average player he could play at a good level and a good player at a great level, and a great player to play in the zone. You were consistent in everything you did, but not stubborn, and blind to see that sometimes there are better ways to achieve victory. On an individual level, you were stern, but forgiving and fair. Coach, you had the unique ability to look into a young man's life and recognize what he was missing. Whether it was a father, a friend, a teacher, a mentor, a motivator, or just showing that there are actually are people who care about what you are going through. Whether you were the fourth on the depth chart or you were Mr. Football, you did your best to bridge that gap. Coach, and you and your staff had the knowledge and vision to see that you may be the only men in our lives to show us that to be a man of character and integrity was what it takes, and how to do things the right way and not just the easy way. You showed us love. You were not afraid to show us the love of Christ and its importance to our life on this earth and in eternity. You have left a legacy of greatness, Coach Wilson, and your work will be lived out for decades to come, and worth more than any win or loss, record or the championship trophy. We all love and will miss you, and just know it was a privilege to call you Coach. Coach Wilson, known many to us as just Coach, cared so much for his players, his coaches, his friends, and his family. Congratulations, Coach. Till we meet again, thank you for everything.